Before we proceed with our video presentation, let us introduce the members. First is Nik Muhammad Aizat. Second, Nur Kamila Shafika. Third, Nurul Atika. And the last one is Iman Nur Amalia.
The external factor evaluation matrix. An external factor evaluation matrix allows strategists to summarize and evaluate the key external factors of the organization. The EFE matrix can be developed in 5 steps. The first step is to list 20 key external factors which include opportunities and threats. Be as specific as possible using percentages, ratios, and comparative numbers whenever possible. The second step is to assign each factor a weight that ranges from 0.0 not important to 1.0 very important. The weight indicates the relative importance of that factor to being successful in the firm's industry. Opportunities often receive higher weights than threats, but threats can receive a high weights if they are especially severe or threatening. Appropriate weights can be determined by comparing successful with unsuccessful competitors or by discussing the factor and reaching a group consensus. The sum of all weights assigned to the factor must equal 1.0. The third step is to assign a rating between 1 and 4 to each key external factor to indicate how effectively the firm's current strategies respond to the factor. Then, multiply each factor's weight by its rating to determine a weighted score. Lastly, sum the weighted scores for each variables to determine the total weighted score for the organization. The average total weighted score is 2.5. A total weighted score of 4.0 indicates that an organization is responding in an outstanding way to existing opportunities and threats in its industry. A total score of 1.0 indicates that the firm's strategies are not capitalizing on opportunities or avoiding external threats. This is the EFE matrix analysis of Avon's company. After conducting all steps of EFE analysis, we have come out with the result of total weighted score of 2.77. The total weighted score of Avon is above the average of 2.5, so this shows that this business is doing pretty well, taking advantage of external opportunities and avoiding threats facing the firm. The competitive profile matrix. The competitive profile matrix (CPM) identifies a firm's major competitors and its particular strengths and weaknesses in relation to a sample firm's strategic position. The weights and total weighted scores in both a CPM and an EFE have the same meaning. However, critical success factors in a CPM include both internal and external issues. Therefore, the ratings refer to strengths and weaknesses. 4 means major strengths, 3 minor strength, 2 minor weakness, and 1 major weakness. In CPM matrix of Avon, the rival firm is L'Oreal and Revlon Company. After conducting the analysis, we found out that L'Oreal and Revlon is much better than Avon. Avon total score was only 1.77, while L'Oreal and Revlon's total score are 3.66 and 3.48 respectively.
Internal factor evaluation matrix. This matrix is a strategy formulation tool that summarizes and evaluates the major strengths and weaknesses in the functional areas of a business. It is also provides a basis for identifying and evaluating relationship among those areas. IFE metric is a thorough understanding of the factors included in the most important than the actual numbers. The first step, list key internal factors as identified in the internal audit process, including both strengths and weaknesses. List strength first and then weaknesses. Be as specific as possible using percentages, ratios, and comparative numbers. The second step, assign a weight that ranges from 0.0, which is not important, to 1.0, which is all important to each factor. The weight assigned to a given factor indicates the relative importance of the factor to being successful in the firm's industry. The sum of all weights must equal to 1.0. The third step, assign a 1 to 4 rating to each factor to indicate whether the factor represents a major weaknesses, which is rating 1, a minor weaknesses, which is rating 2, a minor strength, which is rating 3, or a major strength, which is rating 4. Noted that strength and must receive a 3 or 4 rating, and weaknesses must receive a 1 or 2 rating. The fourth step, multiply all each factor's weight by its rating to determine a weighted score for each variable. And then the last step, sum the weighted score for each variable to determine the total weighted score for the organization. Based on the IFA metrics, Avon revealed that two most important strengths in the financial year, which are stock price hit a 52-week high in June 2013 of $24.3 and obtains 85% of its revenue from outside of the USA. It is noted that Avon is doing its best in advertising and research and development. Besides, Avon also encountered several major losses in sales of beauty, fashion, and home segments. Therefore, Avon scores 2.04 of total weighted score, below the average weighted score, which is 2.5. It indicates that Avon has a weak internal strategic planning and strategic management.
SWOT analysis. So SWOT analysis is a strategic planning method used. It helps to identify the strengths and weaknesses, opportunity and threat of an individual or an organization. So the SWOT planning help in analyzing top strengths and weaknesses of the company and potential opportunity and threat that is externally available towards the company. This SWOT could possibly and is eventually affecting the organization and the company. So based on the SWOT analysis that we have made on Avon, there are few strategies that we could obtain from our SWOT analysis. So the first strategies include the strengths and opportunities of Avon. So our first strategy is to increase promotion in America, meaning to say that Avon in America should have make more deals and discount in order to attract more customer to buy their product. So the second one in the strength and opportunity strategy is to attract more women representatives to be the dealer and direct seller of Avon. So another strategies is the weakness opportunity strategies. So the first one is to add more or 200 agents in America to be the direct seller. So adding more agents to widen the selling of the Avon products in America. Next, we could also make advertisement and do new marketing regarding the products that is available on Avon. Fresh new ideas and fresh new advertisement could attract people, and the medium use should be new and reachable as well. So the next strategy is the strength and threat strategies. So Avon could add new branches to increase their productivity and growth towards the cosmetic industry. Okay. Another strategy is from the view of weaknesses and threat strategies is to create a competitive advantage that distinguish Avon from other cosmetic or women's products such as Sephora, Ulta,
Guardian, Watson. So Avon should have one competitive advantage that people could find in them and make them different from the other brand. So that is what we have obtained from the SWOT analysis.
Space matrix. The strategic position and action evaluation, also known as space matrix, is another important stage to matching tools. Its 4-quadrant framework indicates whether aggressive, conservative, defensive, or competitive strategies are most appropriate for a given organization. The axes of the space matrix represent two internal dimensions, which are financial position (FP) and competitive position (CP), and two external dimensions, which are stability position (SP) and industry position (IP). The term SP refers to the volatility of profits and revenues for firms in a given industry. Thus, SP volatility is based on the expected impact of changes in core external factors such as technology, economy, demographic, seasonality, and so on. The higher the frequency and magnitude of changes in a given industry, the more unstable the SP becomes. An industry can be stable or unstable on SP, yet high or low on IP. The process of developing a space matrix can be summarized in 6 steps. First, select a set of variables to define financial position (FP), competitive position (CP), stability position (SP), and industry position (IP). Second, assign a numerical value ranging from positive 1 worst to positive 7 best to each of the variables that make up the FP and IP dimensions. Assign a numerical value ranging from negative 1 best to negative 7 worst to each of the variables that make up the SP and CP dimensions. Step 3. Compute an average score for FP, CP, IP, and SP by summing the values given to the variables of each dimension and then by dividing by the number of variables included in the respective dimension. 4. Plot the average scores for FP, IP, SP, and CP on the appropriate axis in the space matrix. The fifth step, add the two scores on the x-axis and plot the resultant point on x. Add the two scores on the y-axis and plot the resultant point on y. Plot the intersection of the new xy coordinate. And the last step, which is step 6, draw a directional vector from the origin of the space matrix to the new coordinate. That vector being located in a particular quadrant reveals particular strategies the organization should consider. For Avon space matrix, the directional vector is located in the aggressive quadrant, which is on the upper right of the space matrix. It means that Avon is in an excellent position to use its internal strength to, first, take advantage of external opportunities, second, overcome internal weaknesses, and third, avoid external threats. Therefore, market penetration, market development, product development, backward integration, forward integration, horizontal integration, or diversification can be feasible depending on the specific circumstances that face the firm. Grand Strategy Matrix. The Grand Strategy Matrix has become a popular tool for formulating alternative strategies. All organizations can be positioned in one of the Grand Strategy Matrix 4 strategy quadrants. The Grand Strategy Matrix is based on two evaluative dimensions. The first one is competitive position on the x-axis and market or industry growth on the y-axis. Any industry whose annual growth in sales exceeds 5% could be considered to have rapid growth. The Grand Strategy Matrix of Avon falls under Quadrant 3. It means that the organizations compete in slow growth industries and have weak competitive position.
IE metrics is used to see the current division of the company. So IE metric has three main divisions, which are the grow and build division, hold and maintain division, harvest or diverse division. So which division will fall for the company is depending on the IFE and EFD reading that we have done at the previous slides. Based on Avon's IE reading, it suggests that the organization should hold and maintain their position. Okay, these divisions tell us that Avon should do market penetration. So in order to penetrate the market, Avon should come up with good advertisement strategy and good strategy that could make people know about their products. Avon was once known by people, but then the emerging of other beauty lines such as Sephora, Ulta, Watson, Guardians has made Avon sink, and people might possibly not know the existence of Avon anymore. So Avon should create something or do any new advertisement or product that could penetrate the market again. So another suggestion from the reading is that Avon should do a product development. So product development here means that Avon could create new product or enhance or emphasize their new product to create a better and fresh new item that people nowadays want. I mean, like in order to do this, they need to first do the research and development, or maybe do the evaluation such as gaining feedbacks or distributing questionnaire to see what products that is in high demand of their cosmetic market right now. So in order to hold and maintain their position in the industry, everyone should do 1, market penetration, and 2, product development. This is to help the survival of the Avon company in order for them to keep on going and keep surviving in this market.
The Boston Consulting Group BCG metric. BCG metrics is designed to help with the long-term planning, strategic planning, to help a business consider growth opportunities by reviewing its portfolio of products to decide where to invest to discontinue or develop the products. It's also known as the growth or share metrics. The BCG matrix graphically portrays differences among divisions based on 2 dimensions, which is relative market share position on the x-axis and the industry growth rate on the y-axis. Besides, strategic business units are placed in one of these 4 classifications, which are: the first one, dogs. These are products with low growth or low market share. Second, question marks or problem child. These products is in high growth markets with low market share. The third is stars. This product is in high growth markets with high market share. And the fourth is cash cow, which is this product is in low growth markets with high market shares. Therefore, BCG matrix for Avon is being considered by product division and also by geographic division. For the product division, beauty segment of the brand features as the stars, which is beauty consists of color cosmetics, fragrances, skincare and personal care. For 2012, the beauty segment accounted for 72% of company sales. It means that Avon operates in a market that shows potential in the future. Avon products earn significant amount of income and should be vertically integrated by acquiring other firms in supply chain and thus earn more profits. Meanwhile, the second segment is fashion. It appears on the cash cow for the brand. Fashion consists of fashion jewelry, watches, apparel, footwear, accessories, and children's products. The market share for Avon product is high, but the overall market is declining as companies manage their supplier themselves rather than outsourcing it. The recommended strategy for Avon products is to stop further investment in this business and keep operating this strategic business unit as long as it is profitable. In year 2012, fashion also accounted 18% of the company's sales. The last one is home product. Is still considered to be as dogs by the brand. Home consists of gift and decorative products, housewares, entertainment and leisure products, and nutritional products. Home segment operates in a market that is inclining market share and slow growth rate. The recommended strategy for Avon products is to divest or retrench its products in this strategic business unit and minimize its losses. Based on the BCG metrics by geographic division, based on the question mark, which is on Europe, Africa and East Asia division, Avon need to decide whether to strengthen them by pursuing an intensive strategy, which is market penetration, market development or product development, or to sell them. Besides, in Asia, Pacific and China, which is represented by the star, the forward, backward and horizontal integration need to be a strategic planning as well as strategically manage the market penetration, market development and product development. And then in Latin America, which is represented by the cash cow, should be managed by maintaining their strong position for as long as possible. This can be done through product development or diversification, maybe attractive strategies for strong cash cow. And lastly, the North America division, their weak internal and external position, these businesses are often liquidated, divested or trimmed down through retrenchment. Usually, after retrenchment, the dog division will bounce back because of cash reduction and strenuous assets, become more viable and profitable division.
The decision stage. The Quantitative Strategic Planning Matrix, QSPM. The Quantitative Strategic Planning Matrix objectively indicates which alternative strategies are the best. It uses input from Stage 1 analysis and matching results from Stage 2 analysis to decide objectively among alternative strategies. It also provides the needed information for setting up the QSPM. Like other strategy formulation analytical tools, the QSPM requires assignment of ratings called attractiveness scores. However, not every strategy suggested by the matching techniques has to be evaluated in a QSPM. Strategists should compare several viable alternative strategies in a QSPM. The range for attractiveness score is 1 equal to not attractive, 2 somewhat attractive, 3 reasonably attractive, 4 highly attractive. In QSPM analysis of Avon, the first strategy is to attract more women representatives in every country, and the second strategy is to make advertisement about Avon's diversity of product. The outcome of the analysis indicate that Avon should attract more women representatives in every country rather than make advertisement about Avon's diversity of product. This is because the first strategy has a total attractive score of 3.14, which is higher than the total attractiveness score of the second strategy, which is only 2.58.